Howdy doody, everybody. This is Martha Creek. You can contact me through marthacreek.com. Now, I get the privilege of hanging out with the coolest people on the planet, and these are called Mentoring Moments with Martha. And the intent is to get an empowered teaching and empowered spiritual practices out to everybody in the world, to literally get empowered teachings, new ideas, spiritual practices out for the whole of humanity. So that's how this is offered. So if you hear something today that resonates with you, our job is well done. If it does not resonate with you, don't mention it. Don't tell a soul. But if it does resonate with you, then tell them, hey, check these things out. Look at these practices of gratitude, or go listen to this crazy Creek woman at marthacreek.com, because there's hundreds of videos here. They're all offered at no charge, and they're all offered as a way to uplift humanity in whatever passions that you have. And I have the absolute privilege today of being with Reverend John Riley, who's the senior minister out in Unity, Palo Alto, and Frances, and she also serves in the Unity Palo Alto, and she has got a passion that's unlike any I've seen to get thank yous, heartfelt thank yous and gratitudes out into the world. So I'll get right over to you all in a minute, and I want you to tell the listeners when it comes your turn, when I call on you again, a little bit about yourself and what you're serving, why you're serving, and how you're serving too, in addition to this, what we're going to get into today with gratitude. So it's one of my favorite words. Some of you know, my dearest friend, other dearest friend, John, gave me a necklace that's got 2 keys on it, because I got keys when I was a little girl of life, and they were gratitude and forgiveness. So I've taken the practice of gratitude extremely devotionally, wholeheartedly, and the word keeps coming seriously, although I don't want to use it seriously, since I was a little girl. I've also read a lot of science about this and the practice of gratitude for our well-being, and the power of gratitude as a superpower, even as a miracle-making power, this idea of gratitude, of holding gratitude, of having gratitude. I'd like to preface it now that I've gotten a hair more mature than I was last week, that this in no way bypasses pain or bypasses human loss or anything. So no sane person I know is grateful the day their loved one dies. But eventually, even in the death of a loved one, we find gratitude. Eventually. Grateful that we had them in our life, grateful that they didn't suffer longer than they did, grateful that we did our forgiveness while they were alive, grateful we kept our relationship clean. So it's not a bypassing of feelings and being happy, happy, happy all the time, but a place, a space holder for gratitude, that even in our human losses and pains, in our human-hearted suffering, that there is a potion and an elixir, an antidote, a healing balm that can be brought to our souls and to our minds as well, and then to our body and well-being through our practices of gratitude. So I'm very much alive in this, and I'll start with you then. Frances, if you want to start here, honey, with what you're about, why you think it's important, and what gratitude means to you. And
thank you, Martha. Thanks so much. And thank you, John, for joining today too. A few years ago, I was at my college. I'm Frances Mann-Craik, and I'm a member of Unity Palo Alto, and have been for the last 5 years. And I have grown and changed in a remarkable way in those last 5 years. In the course of those last 5 years, I was presented with an opportunity to take a step further. I was visiting my local college and talking to one of the professors, and I asked him, what makes a college professor happy? And he said, you know, if I hear from a student that learned something from me long ago and tells me that it was a great thing to know and it's helped me in their business life, that's what makes me happy as a professor. And I turned to him and I said, well, you know, I could automate that. And so that day, the little seed for thankyou.io was born as a way for people to reach out, even backward in their life, to give a thank you, give a shout out to somebody who did something good for them, who they may not be able to reach in person. But with the technology that we have available, they can reach through the cloud. So I was thinking about it. And then at Unity Palo Alto, I was taking class and I shared this dream of mine. And one of our fellow one of my colleagues, community members at Unity Palo Alto, Sabrina Akhtar, said, I could do that with you. So she and I got together and we created thankyou.io, www.thankyou.io, as a place where you can go online and say your thank you to someone you know or to a complete stranger and share that gratitude with the world. So I'm going to show you a little bit PowerPoint about how that works.
So while you're doing that, honey, I want to say that I'm so glad you spoke it clearly, because we're going to be living this, what Frances is about to share with you. So if you're listening to this and not watching, then listen carefully, because we're going to go over this website again. We'll speak it very clearly, because our motive and intention here, our powerful intention, is that you be able to find these resources, and not only find them, but put your I-O gratitude all over yourself and all over anybody else in the world that's ever, and in your own reflection and contemplation, that's brought you to the place that you are today. So this is a way of us, this is a way of paying back, paying up, and paying forward. And we'll give you every possible way as a listener to get to these resources toward the end of this. So don't fret for now as you listen.
I need you to enable screen sharing, please, Martha.
All right. And then John, while we're doing this, tell us what gratitude means to you.
Well, I want to go back to what you said about gratitude being a superpower, because it really is. It's something that enlivens us, that opens us up to greater good in the world, to all the things that we have in our lives already. And I love the idea that you said, Martha, about the two keys, forgiveness and gratitude, because true forgiveness can't really be accomplished without there being some sense of gratitude, and not for whatever it was, but in it, right? Having some sense of gratitude for understanding the lesson, for still being able to breathe, for being able to have moved through it. So gratitude is just a key component, I think, to our experience of life, to experiencing life in a greater sense, in a sense that I think that we're here for. So I'll let Frances jump in again here.
And the group says, amen, amen, amen. Carry on, Frances.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Excellent. So we started with the website, www.thankyou.io. It's kind of like IOU, but it's UIO. Thought that was pretty fun. And it's a global gratitude circle, a way to spread gratitude all around the world. So first, our mission, I wanted to make it just super easy for people to share their appreciation and to do it in a public way. Say, for example, you wanted to thank Martha Craik, but you didn't know Martha Craik's email address. Well, you could put a thank you note to Martha Craik on thankyou.io. And if she were ever to go up on Twitter and look for herself, she would find all these thank you notes on the thankyou.io website. So that was one objective. Another objective was just to create more gratitude out there in the world. So we put together a series of beautiful posts that share gratitude in a fun way. And finally, Sabrina and I are both tech people. We're Silicon Valley nerds. And we hear so much about social media being evil and bad and all that. Well, social media can be used for good too. Technology is not good or bad in and of itself. It's how people use it. So we wanted to also showcase how you can use social media for goodness. So first thing we have is www.thankyou.io, the letter u.io, the simple website for sharing your gratitude. And then we've put together beautiful posts that are on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And finally, today, when John speaks, we'll talk about how you too could put a thankyou.io instance on your website, completely free, but it offers people that deal with you on your website the opportunity to share their appreciation amongst each other, and for that thank you note to show back up on your website again. So John will show you all about how you do that. This is our website, and it's just pin a note in the cloud to say thank you. You come into the website and you'll see up on the top there all those buttons. If you go to that button that says gives thanks, it's going to take you to this little message board. And you simply fill out this board. Now, you don't need to register. You don't need to sign up. You don't even need to put your email address or the other person's email address. You don't even need to put your name. It can be anonymous. But if you do put the email addresses for you and your recipient of the thank you. They will get an email message that says you've been recognized, and they can click on that link and it will take them right to the page to show where they've been recognized. So here you fill out the form and you see way down at the bottom here, my thank you note. This is the magic place. This is where you put that special hashtag. John will show you. Put hashtag Unity Palo Alto, and that's how it takes that message all the way back to the Unity Palo Alto website through the magic of technology. And that's all there is to this. It's that simple. It's all free, no signups required. Then secondly, as I mentioned, we've been using the opportunity to share gratitude. And I've worked with college students and I work with volunteers, and we all make these pretty thank you notes that we post on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. They've been really powerful during times when you so want to reach somebody but can't. For example, I live up here, we had the fires in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Well, if you put hashtag CZU fire, we could send thank you notes to the firemen because everybody was looking at that tweet stream. When during the COVID times, we've been able to put thank you notes to the COVID helpers. So it's a way of just getting messages out to people that you can't reach any other way, but you really want to express your thank you and your gratitude. And then finally, we've been to help, this is where John will take over now, and partner sites. There's the opportunity for people to say thank you to each other just using a simple hashtag. And John, maybe you can share what we've been doing at Unity Palo Alto.
I'd be happy to. So as I mentioned earlier, gratitude is a superpower, as Martha mentioned earlier as well. It's that idea of really finding and seeing the good in your life and knowing that there is good in your life. And that's, I think, what gives us hope. I think it's really important for us to focus on that, especially during these times. And as what I've discovered is not just the idea of being grateful, but the idea of actually saying thank you to somebody. Because what it does is it without attachments, without strings, because, sometimes our ego will take over and say, well, thank you. But that's really not a real thank you, right? That's a what's that, a negotiation? I'll be thankful if, but rather if we're really expressing our gratitude without attachments and just saying thank you to somebody in a heartfelt sense, we're making a deep connection with that person. I love the quote by John Milton, the poet, who said, "Gratitude bestows reverence, allowing us to encounter everyday epiphanies, those transcendent moments of awe that change forever how we experience life and the world." And that's what we do for each other when we're saying thank you, when we're giving true appreciation to somebody for something that they did, or giving appreciation to the universe, to the world, to whatever's around you. So this last November, for some reason, we celebrate gratitude that month. And I was doing a talk and I really wanted to give people the opportunity to do something about it, to experience it and express it, more than simply, waking up and being grateful, which are great practices. Being grateful before you go to bed, having a grateful journal, spending 5 minutes out on the world there and seeing everything that you're grateful for, but then taking that gratitude and putting it into something substantial like thankyou.io. So I built a little page on our website. You can get there by going to our website, and I'll show you. Frances, you want me to demo that a little bit? Okay, I'll show that to you in a little bit. But the whole point is that it gives you an opportunity to actually do something with your gratitude and put it into action. If you are grateful for something somebody did, you can put their name in there and hashtag Unity Palo Alto, and it will show up here. If you don't know their email address, what we did was we created an email address at Unity Palo Alto that you can send, that you can include in your message so that it will come to us. And I use those messages at the end of my talk series. So each day I read a few messages about what people were grateful for and who they were grateful for. And I love the idea that you can reach out and say thank you to somebody who from your past, or somebody you don't know, and be able to have it out there in the world without having to, hunt them down without having to know their email address, and just say to the world, hey, I'm very grateful for this person because of what they did. And when we get specific about it, it really creates that connection. So that's what we did. And I'll go ahead and share my screen now so you can see our implementation of it. And here we are at our website. And of course, you can just go to resources, and thankyou.io is there. And down below, you'll see here are our notes of gratitude. It's very simple to do this, really. And it depends. I don't want to get into technical details, but if you are on a WordPress website like we are, there are 100 different plugins out there. And the one I chose, I think, is Feed Them Social. And it was free for us. I got the free version, of course. And it does have some limitations, but what it enables you to do is search on the thankyou.io Twitter account. So just that account, and then search for a hashtag. So we put in hashtag Unity Palo Alto. So if you go to thankyou.io and you create one and you put hashtag Unity Palo Alto anywhere in the message, we'll pick it up and it'll be on our website. So that saves you. So it really focuses on that particular application. And then it will come here, and it'll only show a certain amount with the free version, and only for a certain time, but it gives you the ability, and gives us the ability to really connect on a community basis. And it gives a practice for us to do it, so that we're out there actually using the practice and establishing it. And hopefully it creates more of a routine for us, right? It becomes more of a pattern for us where we say thank you to each other for things. There was an author, or I think it was Greg Braden, I'm not quite sure, but I saw him interviewed, and he was talking about going to Tibet and meeting some Tibetan monks, and how they smile all the time, and pretty much everything you say to them, they say thank you. And he asked his guide, well, why are they saying thank you all the time? What if you're upset? Do they ever get upset? Well, we get upset, or they get upset, and what do they say to you? They say thank you. So it's that idea of really, in all things, be thankful. Not the not the things that are happening perhaps, but rather look for the good in your life, so that it changes and shifts your lens in whatever circumstances and situation you're going through. On our website, we included a link to thankyou.io's video that shows you how to do it. And it's pretty straightforward. Just up front, we click on thankyou.io, and that takes you right to their thank you message. I can go in here and say, my name is John Riley, my email address. And that's how I know that it went through, and it's not shared by other people, but I know that it is. And the person I want to thank is Martha and Frances. Creek. Okay, can I leave it like that? Will it work? And I'm not going to put their email address right now. I think was it martha@martha.com? I can put that there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creek.com. And hashtag Unity Palo Alto. Forever. Probably longer than that. Thank you both for this opportunity to share the good, to share what gratitude does in the world.
Yeah.
That's really what we're doing. We're creating an opportunity for us to share that energy, to share that feeling, to share that idea. I need their last name, Creek.
John, you need to put a hashtag in the message too.
Oh, and I can put hashtag in the message. Oh,
down in the body there. Yeah.
Martha Frances.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this is why I don't do live demos. I was in high tech.
Well, this demoing this though, John. I mean, you've demonstrated here that if we believe what we teach in Unity and New Thought, if we believe what all the sages and seers have told us over time, we just changed the whole of the earth. We just changed the whole of creation in about 10 seconds that it took you to fill out that form. Even with mistakes, even with red things, even with whatever, even with leaving out 2 hashtags, we've put something forth that is made a positive difference to our life and to our way of being and to the world, so that it's not just a theory that we're here to create a world that's different, to create a new earth, a new world, and that we can do it here. And bravo to you, Frances, for making this your clear intention to make it easy peasy. Is not just a theory. It's one thing to say we've made it easy. It's another thing for us to clearly see how easy it is, to have you to demonstrate how easy it is, for John to jump in there and demonstrate how easy it is. And John, for you, God bless you for making Unity Palo Alto a vortex for this. Whatever's going on there, to be the funnel or the channel or the vortex for this, for multiplying this and into getting it up and out into the world too. So you were so much kinder, by the way, John, when you said that wouldn't be true thanks, that would be more like negotiating, because my mind was thinking, no, that's more like manipulation. So that's already like a sign of your enlightenment. And it's like, there's no place and no situation that there cannot be some gratitude in. Even when we wouldn't thank you, maybe if John Roddy was standing on my toe, I may not thank him right away for standing on my toe, but I can be thankful that it was only one toe or only 1 foot, and that I still had the wherewithal to say, John, back on off of my foot here. So there's still possibilities for thank you without having to look far to say in any situation, every circumstance, that there is a power to me saying, how do I want to be with this? How am I going to be with this? If I'm a creator, if I am co-creating in this experience, this very experience, then what is it I'm going to create? And I imagine, especially in the time that we're in right now, what a dose of gratitude, a dose of thanks could mean to a human soul that's not at their par level of stamina, their par level of hope or faith, to know that something we may have done 10 years ago, something they did 10 years ago, something they said to me when I was a kid. I just heard somebody say they stood up at a funeral of their dead aunt and said, I believe that she's responsible for my success, because she was the first and only person in my family that had kind of a professional job, that she got up and cleaned up and dressed up and wore a dress and wore hose and all that and went to a store. And that when I went to the store, the people in the store knew her, so the people in the store knew me, and some seed was planting in a little kid that they wanted a professional job when they grew up, that they wanted a different life for themselves than 7 generations of a family had lived through. So these words of thanks hold great power. And I thank you, John, for all that you're doing to lift this up. I thank you, Frances, for growing the seed and sowing the seed and collaborating and getting it to manifestation out of the metaphysical into the physical, and for reaching out to us to say, join in. So tell them again, Frances, anything about you that you want to. If you want them to be able to contact you directly, it's not necessary, but if you want them to put that out here. And then on marthacreek.com, there will be this available. You can listen to it or view it here. It'll be available, I guess, through Unity Palo Alto very soon when this is ready. And if there's any way that any of us can support you in any way, we're here to do that, get some of us word. So closing up, Frances, what would you want anybody listening this week, this month, this year, 1,000, 2,000 years from now, what would you want them to know about what you believe?
Well, what I want is just share I just like everyone to share the gratitude as far and as wide as they can. It's so easy to do. Go online and do it yourself for yourself, or send me a note at Frances with an E, Frances at thankyou.io. And that's the word thank and the letter U.io. And you can reach me there. And I am just so very happy to get this word out, and so thankful to John and to Martha for helping me with this project. Thanks so much.
You're welcome for my part. Lay it on us, John Riley.
Well, it's easy to do, and just doing it there today gave me that sense of reverence and gave me that sense of feeling good and uplifted and in the moment with both of you. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Go to thankyou.io and check it out for yourself. It's a great opportunity and a wonderful way to put gratitude into action.
So there you have it. And we support you, we salute you, we uplift you, whatever your missions are. Get us word. Some of us, if you want to be in these mentoring moments with Martha and to bring this kind of goodness out into the world, let me know. I would do about anything as far as I know. And for now, marthacreek.com to contact me. And thank you for being here listening today or watching this. And please share it along with your thank yous, your spoken word of thank you, your spoken words of thank you, your spoken words of appreciation, your also heartfelt conveyed energy of appreciation, love notes, any way you can put it out into the world. Be blessed and see you next time. Thanks again, guys. Frances, John, much love to you.
MarthaCreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.